Now to a transport corridor that seems to still be suffering the effects of insecurity in spite of there being a curfew in Lamu for over 3 months. A Tawakal bus was attacked the border between Tana River County and Lamu County at about 3 p.m. this afternoon by unknown assailants. The unknown assailants shot at this bus as it was traveling about 15 kilometers away from Witu town. Fortunately, nobody has been injured in that incident, and all the passengers, all 45 of them, have been evacuated to Witu. The KDF as well as local police are now in hot pursuit of these people who attacked this bus, the bandits that attacked this bus. And joining us now is a person who was on the scene earlier today, Mohammed Abdul Kadir. He works for the Red Cross down in Mpeketoni. Mohammed, let's start with what the witnesses, or rather the people who were traveling in this bus, described to you as what happened when that attack took place.
Okay. Actually, the incident occurred at the border between Tana River and Lamu County at exactly around 3 p.m. as you had said earlier.
Yes.
Now, the passenger bus was actually heading to Lamu from Mombasa with around 45 passengers. And immediately passengers had reported to have had gunfire that forced the bus to come to a sudden stop.
Yes.
And some of the attackers entered the bus but did not inflict any harm to the victims, and somehow left unnoticed. Unfortunately, the bus could not move because of a flat tire and linking petrol tank. The passengers then were later evacuated to Witu by police and private vehicle.
Yes.
And currently, all the passengers have been accounted, although they are still at Witu. They have not reached their destination yet.
Okay, Mohammed, you said the attackers got into the bus but did not perpetrate any crimes while in the bus. They didn't kill anybody. Did they speak to the passengers? Did they say anything to them?
Actually, some of the passengers that we had talked to them is that until now they're still in a shock to be able to give a true description of what exactly happened. Although some of them said that they entered and it's as if they were looking for particular kind of passengers which they were not able to identify.
Yes.
And nobody actually was in a position to kind of look at them or try to identify exactly what they were looking for.
Okay. Unfortunate question here, but it has to be asked given what the attacks have been like in Mpeketoni and Mandera as well. What was the makeup of the people on the bus?
Well, it may be difficult for us to actually say currently, unless we give the victims at least the survivor. We give them at least more time to be able to recover from the shock, and probably will give you more details of the attackers at a later stage.
All right. How long did it take for the Kenya Defense Forces as well as the police to respond after this attack, Mohammed?
Okay, the KDF actually they were not very far from the area of incident. The only thing is that where the incident occurred, there was a problem of network. I think that is where there was a little delay. But immediately, I believe they were able to move in, and a few minutes later, we witness actually saw two helicopters also, which we believe they were security helicopters that were heading to the scene of crime. Therefore, I believe police response was much faster this time around.
All right. Speaking of which, there has been a curfew, or rather Lamu County has been under curfew for quite some time now. Given that you work in the area and you're based out of there, at least in Mpeketoni, what do you make of the security situation? Has there been an improvement?
Yeah, exactly. In my opinion, I think there is, and probably there's a need to probably strengthen the curfew.
Yes.
Although in certain areas like Lamu town, probably as the residents for quite some time they have been complaining about the curfew, and I think there is has been a kind of the restriction has been at least lessened, and people are able to move at more hours in Lamu town compared to other areas where the curfew has been enforced.
All right. Thank you very much, Mohammed. Mohammed Abdul Kadir speaking to us there. He was on the scene, at the scene rather, of that shooting in Witu, or rather 15 kilometers away from Witu. Just to recap, a bus traveling down, a Tawakal bus traveling down towards Lamu was attacked at about 3 p.m. this afternoon by unknown assailants. The assailants, according to the person we just spoke to, who spoke to witnesses, got into the bus but didn't shoot anybody. They got out and left, and the Kenya Defense Forces as well as the police are in pursuit of those bandits. This, of course, happening in the context of what happened earlier on this year in about July with the attacks that started in Mpeketoni.